morning everyone, respected teachers and my dear friends. My study is bacteriological profile and antibiotic sensitivity pattern among cancer patients in a tertiary care hospital. Under the guidance of Dr. Ashwin Phillips, Dr. Hardeep Singh, Dr. Ankur Mittal and Dr. Utkunj Mehta, we started this study in Mohan Dai Oswal Hospital, Ludhiana, Punjab. Bacterial infections increases the length of hospital stay, causes significant morbidity and mortality and increases the cost of stay. Situation further deteriorates with increasing incidence of multi-drug resistance. Culture and antibiotic sensitivity pattern is the single most reliable procedure for bacterial isolation and detection. Empirical treatment of infection in the cancer patient is often arbitrarily attempted by administration of broad spectrum or combination antibiotics until culture and susceptibility results are available. This could be made more evidence-based if the clinician has adequate information on the spectrum of microorganisms and the susceptibility patterns prevalent in that particular setting. It is possible that these patterns may differ from one geographical region to another and even from one hospital to another. Keeping in mind the ever-changing microbiological profile of infections in cancer patients, it is imperative that data about the locally prevalent pathogens and their antimicrobial sensitivity patterns should be generated and analyzed to decide appropriate empirical therapy. So, we did this study with the aim to study the bacteriological profile and antibiotic sensitivity pattern with the objectives to start the effective empirical antibiotics in infections in cancer patients so that we can decrease the morbidity, mortality, duration and cost of hospital stay in a long run by prescribing the appropriate empirical antibiotic therapy based on the bacteriological profile. This cross-sectional study over a span of 14 months included 150 biopsy-proven patients who were admitted with fever with age 18 years or above. Relevant cultures had been sent before starting antibiotics and was conducted in Mohan Dai Oswal Hospital, Ludhiana. All the samples were processed and isolates were identified as per CLSI guidelines 2023. So we included all patients with biopsy-proven malignancy with fever, which is defined as skin temperature more than 37.2 degrees Celsius or 99 degrees Fahrenheit, core temperature of more than 37.5 to 38.3 degrees Celsius or 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit to 100.9, or a morning oral temperature of more than 37.2 degrees Celsius or late afternoon oral temperature of more than 37.7. We included all the patients of age 18 years or above, all patients with malignancies admitted for fever management, and all patients with proven active cancer. We did not include the patients less than 18 years age, patient who was not having any active form of cancer, that is cancer under remission, and patient with already proven culture sensitivity report, or patients who were already having any documented evidence of receiving any form of antibiotics prior to getting admitted. So coming to results, in a study of 150 patients, mean age was 56.9, among which 57 were male, that is 38% were male and 62% were female. 32% were hematological malignancies and 68% were solid. 8% of the patients were having central line. Median duration of stay in the hospital was 7. 4% of the patients were having febrile neutropenia and most of these patients are hematological malignancy. 48% patient in 48% of the patient we modified the treatment and 88% patient improved and discharged. 21% of the patients were growing multi-drug resistant organisms. Coming to positivity percent, the maximum positivity we found it in urine, that is 39%, followed by blood, which is 20%, followed by sputum 11%, and then the wound 9%, and then the stool and other samples 2% and 3% respectively. Positivity percent in solid malignancies came out to be 21.9% and hematological malignancies came out to be 31.8%. Most common organism which we found in blood was Staph aureus followed by E. coli. In urine was E. coli followed by Klebsiella. In sputum we found Klebsiella being the most common followed by E. coli and Staph aureus. In stool we found E. coli was the most common followed by Klebsiella In wound, we found Staph aureus being the most common, followed by E. coli. And in others, we found out E. coli was the most common, followed by Klebsiella. Coming to the sensitivity pattern. First of all, E. coli. We can see that it is 100% sensitive to the drugs like ceftriaxone, sulbactam, EDTA, polymyxin B and tigecycline. But these are the restrictive antibiotics. We cannot use them empirically. So coming to the first group of antibiotics, that is penicillins, we can use Piptaz as empirically because it is showing more than 50% sensitivity. Among cephalosporins, cefotaxime, cefuroxime, ceftazidime, they are showing less than 50% sensitivity, may not be very much effective empirically. But with that, what we can use is ceftriaxone, sulbactam, cefepime, as well as ceftazidime, clavulanic acid, because they are mostly showing more than 50%, approx 50% sensitivity to E. coli. Coming to fluoroquinolones, moxifloxacin, ofloxacin, they are showing less than 50% sensitivity, which will not be that much effective empirically. And carbapenems, almost all are showing more than 50% sensitivity, so we can use. In a nutshell, for E. coli, we can use Piptaz as well as carbapenems and few cephalosporins. Klebsiella. In our hospital, most of the Klebsiella were multi-drug resistant. So we cannot, only drug which we can use empirically we found was doripenem. Others are mostly multi-drug resistant.
The time for this presentation is up. Could you please wrap it up?
Among Acinetobacter, Piptaz is showing more than 50% sensitivity. And but we can use empirically was Piptaz, ceftriaxone, sulbactam, and among carbapenems we can use imipenem cilastin as empirical drug of choice. Staph aureus, most of the gram-positive in our institute was MSSA, that is methicillin sensitive. 79% we can use methicillin, but in 21% we can go for vancomycin, linezolid, and other drugs for MRSA. Among Enterococcus, most of the organisms are sensitive to linezolid, vancomycin and levonorgestrel. In conclusion, there is in general a very high level of antibiotic resistance among gram-negative bacilli, particularly Klebsiella and Acinetobacter. Resistance among gram-positive is not that acute. So it is recommended that every institution should regularly revise their antimicrobial policy based on the microbiological data. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Leopold.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, as far as the hematological malignancies are concerned, you see, I mean, my experience is that most of the time they present with fever, you see, pyrexia of unknown origin.
Yes, sir.
And I think once you diagnose hematological sort of malignancy, if you treat the hematological part of the fever, it automatically settles down rather than using antibiotics unless blood culture or something else you see shows some bacteria or anything else. So probably hematological malignancies are little different than the other malignancies as far as the fever is concerned. Regarding the resistant part, you see, as we know, haphazard use of antibiotics everywhere, you see, we were all using it day in and out without any sensitivity or anything. That is the basic reason for getting more and more resistant to all the antibiotics.
Yes, sir.
That is again a big problem, you see, with most of the doctors and physicians. But in a tertiary care hospital, because we have the facilities and everything, and the patient can pay for it also. So that's why you go for the test. And we feel that they should all get be tested before starting any antibiotics.
Yes.
That is the basic reason for getting more and more resistant antibiotics. Anyway, nice study. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
With this, we